do it again with this high pace draft. Also does have some high cooldown kind of things, but it does have that Quinn Void Spirit that he is so comfortable on. Owen, what stands out for you?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be the Quinn Void Spirit from Quincy Crew's side of things. You know, a hero that I feel in the past they would never have really got through in the draft at all, but able to get it in as our last pick. Quinn's going to be feeling very comfortable on it. Vici game, though, I like the approach here with the Medusa. I think they've got a fantastic lineup to sort of be able to build around and protect their Medusa, buffer up, and just allow it to sort of sit there and take the fights that Quincy Crew are going to bring to them. Now, I guess the question really is, can Quincy Crew play as fast as they did in the first game and just overrun Vici Gaming before this Medusa is able to stand there without Quincy Crew being able to blow her up?
That is the Quincy Crew special, though, right? Playing fast, playing aggressive. So it does feel like they've got a lineup that does work for us. And we do have to address the fact that the panel was talking about pretty much no stuns. We got Cold Snap, we got some Tornadoes coming into play from both the Brew and from the Invoker. Brew Split will be able to provide some lockdown and some catch, especially for these annoying backline heroes like Winter Wyvern. But yeah, we'll see how they're able to make it work.
Quincy Crew on the hunt here. Oh, I did have a smoke dispelled as Gaming.
30 seconds.
Some things up around it. Unlikely to get caught out by this 5-man attempt here from Quincy Crew.
We see deep wards again. This time it's Vici who put those deep wards to, looks like, read the lane matchups in particular.
Yeah, because in terms of the lane matchups, are we going to see quite as much stubbornness when it comes to getting certain pairings as we saw in game 2 from both teams?
Not as much, I would say. I think they do want to have... honestly, I think that Quincy Crew has addressed the Timbersaw pretty nicely. I think any lane that they have set up, like even if Leslau's versus Timber, even if Bloodseeker's versus it, it's not bad at all. So I don't think we'll see as much lane shenanigans.
All right, so there for the start, at least it's going to begin with bottom 11 and DY down on the bottom. It's Leslau's DP. As usual, as we're seeing Quincy Crew like to do, starting your wire off top. Both supports hanging around, maybe just for the first wave, just to see if they can get any action, or at least to secure you wire that first wave of safe CS.
Trying to make sure that they can block the pull too, but won't be able to. Sentry Ward instantly taken out from PYW. I do think they want to be able to give some help to Leslau. Even though he's a fast hero like Death Prophet, DY's, the harassment will start to build up from Ench. And once she gets a creep, it's going to be problematic for Leslau. Top.
They got enough. It's close. They
got him.
A very nice first strike there from Quincy Crew. The old Earth Spike into the Blood Bright. The damage is done. The setup is there. And this is why Quincy Crew as a team love to do this. Start with the aggro tri-lane to look for these sort of opportunities. Bottom lane, Leslau. Moved over upon by old 11, but the backup's in. LOA's able to TP over him with the Earth Spike. Holding back old 11 as old 11, he's got to back off. They won't quite have the damage to dive in and kill off Leslau. Quincy Crew, they get the first blood, and now they're able to set up with these dual lanes.
Yeah, I think LOA had to come down here pretty soon because they're going to go for these super pressure plays with an Enchantress with the Timbersaw early versus Death Prophet. Like I said, even though she's speedy, can't get dove. And, you know, it's a bit surprising that Poyoyo does die there because they saw the 3 heroes. They knew that this was happening, but still just end up getting caught out there from the overwhelming damage. And we're seeing mid, Quinn really winning that matchup. 10-0 to the 4-0 of the Invoker. Maxi can have a 7 after these 3 creeps.
Top. Gonna look to punch back, PYW.
It's a lot of slow.
Smacking into the 2 of them.
Radiant's
That's taking some heavy damage here, so they'll have to back off. Bottom lane, they'll manage to snipe LOA's courier there, I believe, with the summons of
the Hellbear.
DY.
Yeah. Not the best.
Overall as well, do you like this as well from Vici Gaming? You know, we've not really got to talk about it too much, as was mentioned. They do like to run this in both sort of support capacities, but the support brew, I mean, how does this work out for a hero for you right now in this position? Is it something you like to see?
I think because they had Enchantress, they wanted something that's going to cover them on all bases for teamfight, because if like they were really lacking on it, so I think that's one of those king of teamfight heroes that might be able to turn the edge, but there's nothing like crazy about Brew this game that he's like really just hard dispelling or just taking care of. I think the biggest thing for him is just finding the Winter Wyvern in the back and blocking the save versus Death Prophet. He's just going to be able to throw him up and maybe ignore him inside of the fight. Mid, Wild Wing. That's one way to offset a Void Spirit matchup. Very frustrating.
A bit of an irritation here. Yeah, for Quinn to have this Tornado currently in his lane.
He's looking for it. He's going to spot it for a second. Hasn't put the points in yet. Just holding on to two.
Yeah, fully saving his skill points, yeah. And he's going to put it to simulate now with Rory starting to step in. He's going to make sure that he goes for the stand and get the full damage out. Probably holding points just in case he would have seen an opportunity to grab someone with the Remnant. Maybe Ori if he'd stepped up too aggressively.
Yeah, I like that he's gone for farm builds rather than going for an to kill. The only way you cover Invoker in a Cross Wex is if he just makes some really bad mistake. You want to be able to maximize, and Quinn, he's all about maximizing farm. DY makes his move toward top, takes away his Satyr Tormentor, looks to want to perhaps rotate toward the top lane, but the lane's starting to do really well. Medusa, even though she did die that one time, up to 19 CS. 20 now.
Missing bottom!
Pretty close across the board. Slight net worth lead here for Vici Gaming. Top lane. Try and chase down your wall. Instantly goes for the TP out. Doesn't want to take more damage as he needs to. I say that. He's actually going to maybe just a bit of a bait as he cancels the TP. He's ready to turn towards PYW. PYW with his own TP though will make it out. Back to the fountain he goes to get away from that attempted turnaround off Quincy Crew.
Looks like it's just going to become a 1v1 in the bottom lane, too. Lion's starting to move around the map. Enchantress, we'll see what DY does when he sees the Lion moving, if he's going to look to punish Leslau, as Old 11 still does have a lot of damage. If they can bait a couple Spirit Siphons and then look to make a play when the Siphon is down, could perhaps set up for this Death Prophet, as Leslau is starting to fall behind on last hits. Move toward top.
Not funny. Got the damage this time, caught in the blood right. X control as well, charging in onto Poyoyo. He has got a pretty full wand though. And with that pop, he's going to be more than fine. PYW tries to charge in to chase down LOA instead. Quincy Crew, they'll be okay themselves. They just did not quite able to get that kill onto Medusa. PYW doing a good job of staying around in the area, making sure that even with the three of them, they don't have enough tools to take him out. Bottom lane, got the setup on a Leslau in with the Centaur. Leslau. He's out of siphons. That was his last one gone here, and with that in mind, there's no more sustain for him. Old 11 slides across with the chain, cuts him down.
And a pretty big mistake there, I feel, from Leslau. If he just Spirit Siphons the Centaur Conqueror, he's going to get way more HP. He Spirit Siphoned DY. This is an Enchantress with 600 HP instead of a 1400 HP Centaur. I feel like he could have survived there for sure. But the constant aggression, as we mentioned, this is what Vici wanted to do. As soon as they see that Death Prophet isolated, Old 11's going to try to punish.
Yeah, and it's going to be that very scary point for Leslau now, where Old 11, pretty much with this secret, he's going to have to level 6 against the level 5 DP, so this is not easy.
They're clipping the wave too, they're keeping the siege going.
And we'll see if they have TPs at the ready, but now with the 6 hit on Old 11, they're going to collapse on Leslau immediately. Leslau, see how much this Siphons are going to do to keep him alive. He's got another one in a few seconds.
He looks pretty
Still
bad.
Definitely struggling against these two of them. He's trying to dance around them, but he can't get away. As a second kill, this bottom lane just proves to be a bit of a death trap for him. At the same time, top, PYW and Poyoyo. They run down Yawar as Vici Gaming getting huge core kills here in both of the side lanes. Tower as well. Definitely. Tier 1 on the bottom lane, it's gone.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Definitely not a game where you want to start falling behind with this early centric draft versus a late game crazy scaling lineup with a Medusa Invoker core. It's not a good sign here for Quincy Crew, and it's only 7 minutes in. Medusa pretty much full free farm. Invoker now taking over the mid lane. And Timbersaw, we saw what Old 11 was able to do last time. Sure, he was versus a Wraith King matchup, which is excellent, but he is versus some pretty good heroes that he can burst, and it's the counteract versus Cold Embrace, that high burst damage that Timbersaw does do.
Without doubt, eyes are going to be on Quinn. What can the man achieve this game? Level 7, he's got the phase boots and an arcane rune in the bottom bottle. This would be a good time to try and look for a hit. The top lane's tough, as we're seeing. Poyoyo constantly being backed up by PYW. It's not an easy hero to dive upon. Just going to look towards Ori mid, but again, Vici Gaming keeping their bases covered here. DY keeping himself in the trees, ready for any sort of aggressive moves onto Ori. And Quinn, he's just going to have to find any small opportunity and strike as hard as possible.
They got to start stalling these pushes. Like, MSS has to rotate over here and start Splinter Blasting. They can't lose another tower this early, or the game is going to become incredibly difficult for them to ever make aggressive moves onto the Medusa. Because if you start losing these towers so early, it starts to become obvious if you are making moves, because the creep waves will dictate and show where you are on the map. Mid, Quinn.
See the setup on a Quinn. And he's got enough mana there for the step up to the high ground. He makes it away.
Free courier.
Bringing some back up top. Blood right. Leslow's coming over with the ghost. He's ready to try and fight this. Other way will go down, but Leslow could have a nice bit of a cleanup here. Take out PYW. Going to charge over towards poyoyo, but the point in the stone gauge. Leslow's got to keep his distance. The backup as well there from Ori. Trying to stop them from diving in onto the Medusa. Poyoyo is out of mana. The one not quite hitting the 6 though. They'll bring more firepower up to the top lane here. Quincy Crew. CCC, he's ready to join. Yawar will drop the blood bright, but the 3 of them surround him. Yawar, he's got to be careful. Leslow charging in to push them away. Yawar will be saved. Quinn for his target and chasing down DY. That's a little too speedy. One astral step available from Quinn. It would be enough to chase. He's going to look for the biggie kills instead. Straight over towards Poyoyo. Quinn, has he got enough to finish off this Medusa? Another step in. Quinn, he really needs this kill and he's going to get it. Quinn will take down Poyoyo. He's ready to swing back over towards Moore. Comes in with a big jump to simulate. Ori getting taken out. We'll get the tornado down. Gets taken down though. Quinn out of mana. Trying to run, but the damage is done from VG Gaming. Yawar looking towards PYW. PYW up to the high ground. Healing up as they'll keep him alive. Yawar's got to step back. Old Eleven's silence about to come to an end in a minute. Chapman off the mark. The timber chain, it isn't. Old 11 comes crashing through, brings down Yawar, and he's going to look towards MSS as well as they surround the Wyvern. VG Gaming may have lost a couple of cores, but they'll hit back hard and take a fair few cores themselves there. Old 11 cleaning up in style.
And the supports just get so enabled from this. PYW about to hit 6. DY is 6 now on the Enchantress. They survived during the whole thing, so earn charges aplenty. They can keep themselves healed up now to be able to fight again. Did see Quinn get some big kills, but I don't think Vici minds too much as Poyoyo immediately goes toward bottom side. He's going to build the farm now, stack up some Ancients and hard camp for himself as this Dusa. Quinn?
See if he can get some of the squishies here. Quick jump onto DY. They're able to blow up the Enchantress.
Nice move.
See if they can do anything about PYW. PYW has the 6. Try and get it off with the Hex coming in. It's not enough to stop him from popping the Primal Split. The Split still comes out, turns straight away over towards LOA. They bring down the Lion.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Into the shadows here with the Invis. He's going to be fine.
Can't dispel that Invis. Does not work versus invisibility runes. Still have a sentry there.
Back under the sentry. But they won't have any follows. PYW sends him up, backs off.
Old 11, 4-0-1, top of net worth. Now starting to pressure top tower.
Top tower is under attack.
Siege wave is coming over Yawar. Yawar wants to try to stop this push, but he has to be careful himself. He's going to go for old 11 too. The TP, they get canceled.
They should have him in. Multiple ways to put an end to that TP attempt. Very necessary kill there for Quincy Crew. They've got to shut down old 11 as he is really starting to take over the game. So Quincy Crew
instant smoke
will be able to deal with him. They know they want to play it fast. Quinn, he's constantly going to be looking for action. He doesn't want to be hitting creeps. He wants to be hitting heroes.
They have to punish some of this greed. Ori.
Quick setup, Quinn. Perfect catch. Straight in with the step and the remnant. Blow up Ori.
And they've got the ult.
It's mid tower. Good pressure ready to go from Leslow. So let's see what VG Gaming want to do in terms of a defense. Poyoyo just making use of the space down bottom. PYW sticking up towards the top half of the map, as you are. Pushing in with the siege creep top. Good pressure here from Quincy Crew. 5 seconds, they'll have Ori back in the game, but the damage is being done. This tier 1 certainly starting to fall. Old 11 is going to start charging in, trying to push them back off this. Leslow take a low hit. The Remnant will grab Ori. They'll use the curse, holding them back, making sure that Leslow will be kept safe. They are able to back away. DY still trying to chase in and get a catch on to the DP, but Leslow's far enough away. Top lane, Noir pretty much taking out that tier 1 tower top as well. So these tier 1's getting pressured very heavily by Quincy Crew. Now VG Games going to try their best in response. Straight down the mid they go. Old 11 immediately and on top of MSS with the cold snap. There's no escape for MSS. Yawar looks to turn with the rupture down onto the Timber Saw. See if they've got enough damage to bring down this Timber. They're draining him low with the Siphon. LOA swings across with the stun. They'll bring down Old 11 once again. Another big kill here for Quincy Crew to take away the crucial frontline component of VG Gaming's charge.
Poyoyo gets the space though. Top of net worth now in the Medusa, even though she does have 2 deaths. Level 11. Got a lot of time because of these constant moves. Old 11, he does get punished for being a bit too over-aggressive 2 times over and over again, but he'll have a TP available for next. Quincy Crew. Still an okay spot, but they don't have the same type of farm mechanics, right? Like this Bloodseeker, he's not going to be nearly as enabled as this Dusa, who will eventually start to get alacrities and stuff like that. This is quite a problem here. Yawar needs to find some more farm.
No, definitely, it's not an easy or fun lineup to play from behind, especially against this Poyoyo. soon to hit the 12. Quint still working on his yours, pushing in on the top here. And see what Quincy's next move is going to be.
Ori's gone for full greed this game. They have the Urn finished up early on the Brewmaster, so he's just going straight for Aghanims. Going for that Cataclysm versus the Cold Embrace. We've seen this now time and time again, especially from Team Nigma. He's able to do this kind of greedier build that will result in not just Cataclysm, but higher points in Alacrity for the Medusa as well, with those high points of Exort that he's starting to put into.
Just smoke. They can catch anything, they'll find LOA. Tornado down onto the Lion. And he will be able to turn it with the Blood right back up and Yawar and the stun. It's not enough to get him out of there though. Still managed to take down the Lion. Yawar's farm will begin to pick up now with the Maelstrom complete. Still has quite a way to go there to be able to get anywhere close to what poyoyo is being able to clean up from his half of the map.
And they're having to react to everything. It's Vici really setting the pace this game. It's always on the side of Quincy's. So they're never going to be able to get to poyoyo's side. They have to be able to win a fight soon and get to where this Medusa's farming, because she's level 13. Look at the rest of the levels inside the game. Next highest is 11. Bloodseeker's level 9.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What's sort of the move that Quincy Crew has to make to deal with him? We're going to see the smoke come out. Is it as sort of simple as just committing fully onto the Medusa, trying to blow poyoyo up before backup comes in?
I think they have to get her at least once, otherwise this game's going to start looking pretty impossible for them. poyoyo, though, seems to be reading it. Getting a ward around Ancients isn't a bad option either, so that they can at least know when they have an opportunity to go for her. But do have to be careful, because Vici, they've got everything ready to fight. Spirit Vessel finished up on PYW as well. And they're going to smoke back. They're reading this move here from Quincy. Quincy's got to be careful not to get sandwiched.
See if they catch it. Quinn. Cleaning up the small camp. That's LOA and Lesnar. They're ready to try and come in from the side. It's already Quinn's been spotted by our left. LOA's trying to charge it over towards poyoyo, but poyoyo is able to step out to the side. PYW in with the primal split. LOA, he's been left behind. The Lion will fall. The tornado grab onto Lesnar. They're chasing down the DP. They're throwing him up, buying time for Vici Gaming to come in, surround him. As Vici Gaming prepared there for Quincy Crew's attempts to make a move, they continue to just keep poyoyo safe, proving the immense difficulties that Quincy Crew are having to deal with when it comes to trying to slow down and deal with how much poyoyo is farming.
He's so big already, level 14, and it's not a good core versus core matchup either, especially as a Bloodseeker who's not ahead. If you're a Medusa and you're able to get this type of start in the game, it's very hard to recover on Quincy. MSS in position for a curse.
They can do it. They'll stop the rupture on a poyoyo. Catch him with a stun, keeping him in the blood right. They're committing, but the Max is up and ready to turn. Yawar, he's got to step back. The curse will hold back PYW, but Yawar, he's still dying to the damage from TY. His impetus is from the side. That's Yawar gone. Lesnar, we're going to charge him the exorcism. Quinn jumps in with the two-man astral step over with the simulate towards PYW. But Lesnar, he's just dying into the right clicks of poyoyo. Poyoyo will return over towards the Death Prophet. Lesnar will fall. It's 3 dead on Quincy Crew. Quinn, looking towards poyoyo. Is it the simulate? Can he burst him in time? No, poyoyo with the one. He's fine. Pops the wand, poyoyo's away. They lose 4 on Quincy Crew, just the 2 on Vici Gaming. Maybe they're going to lose 5, in fact, here. Quincy, as Vici Gaming have the grab onto MSS, as Ori leads him with the tornado. MSS trying to hide in the trees, but Oglem's able to clear them out with the chakram. They'll get the full team wipe here, Vici Gaming.
They were so close to bringing down poyoyo multiple times, but he got like 2-3 snakes off, ends up surviving because of it. I think he also gets arcane booted, I believe, from some of his teammates. They built, what, 1, 2 arcane boots, so just that little bit of extra restore. It looked like they were going to get him, but these little things do add up. Look at how close he gets. Oh, man. That's devastating. That's the big hold for them to come back in the game, and now it's a 9K lead for a Medusa lineup. Level 16 in a second on the Medusa. This is looking really difficult already for Quincy Crew.
Been hard fights as well for Leslau. He's just not at a point where he can really charge in and be that frontline DP at the moment. Even with the siphons going off, they're still managing to take him out.
It's such an early vessel on PYW. He just vessels him, and then sure, you get your siphons off, but you're just getting wailed on as LOA. It's found again.
Just getting kills all over the place, and with these sort of kills, yeah, Ori, this Aghanim's pretty much done here. Midas Axe, yes, it's going to be complete 18 minutes in, some very fast timings, flying out for all 3 cores of VG Gaming this match.
Level 14 too, so he's got 5 points in Exort. Look at that alacrity, 58 attack speed, 58 damage for the Medusa, who already is hitting hard. Quincy Crew needs to win the next fight, or I think this game just might already be over.
There you go. You see Quinn with the setup. This could be a good catch if they can take him down before backup comes in. The silence off. Is there any help in time? Poyoyo. He's able to get the stone gaze off. He's off to the side. They heal up the chance. It's not enough. Bring him down. Quincy Crew, they can get more out of this. This will be huge. They got the setup onto PYW. Curse into the blood right. Remnant off the mark. PYW is able to step outside. He's still able to put the final split. They're going to try and fight without their Medusa here. VG Gaming. Let's see if they're strong enough to do so. Leslau, they can't down low by the impetuses. They're trying to come in, and Leslau still alive. Old 11 caught in the blood right. They bring down the Timbersaw. A 3rd kill here for Quincy Crew. Yawar trying to work through the primal splits. PYW's tactic was wrong, but the astral step is back up. Quinn's in with the damage. They have the control. Quincy Crew strike back.
Oh, they needed that so badly. They catch the Medusa out of position. Team not there to back her up. That was perfect there from Quincy. Great exorcism. Leslau dropping low, but this time he's not spirit vesseled up. He's able to just stick inside of the fight because the Bruce split is caught on the side there, going for the Lion. A great, well-executed fight that they absolutely needed. Chunking down that net worth lead. 10K down to 6K, same thing for experience.
Radiant are scanning.
Look how low he drops multiple times on Leslau. Really nicely dancing around the fight.
Yeah, they've really had it in from the last few times, but absolutely pulling it together and going for that BKB, of course, next. Once he does have that one done, he's going to be feeling so confident charging in and just being this hero that VG Gaming will struggle to deal with. Just sort of running around and causing havoc, especially with the mass silencers that are going to be coming out in these team fights.
As long as he's not getting spirit vesseled up in the fight, Leslau should be able to survive and run through.
Back to farming. Probably have learned his lesson after that last bit of a move down bottom. Won't be caught as far away from the rest of his teammates or the backup of a tower for potential TPs again.
And probably won't use Manta to farm again, because I believe that's what caused that whole entire situation. He didn't have Manta to remove the silence, and then he doesn't have time to pop the Stone Gaze, so Quincy Crew taking advantage of it nicely, keeping themselves in the game. They need a couple more of those, though.
They do. And Quincy Crew, their team, but it is going to be rather annoying. I mean, you look at just the amount of silences they're like. Just bear in mind, VG Gaming, not really heroes that rush in BKBs or anything. So they will have this ability to really disable what VG Gaming is trying to throw out at them. Quinn's working on the Aghanims. He's going to have 2 rounds of the silence. Yawar's got the blood right, and of course the silence from Leslau. These are heavy duration silences. If they can bring these together smartly, it will make it difficult for VG Gaming to fight into it. Quincy Crew is going to take the lead here with Leslau charging in for the Roshan. See if they're able to do anything about this VG Gaming.
They see all the weapons.
But now they're going to look for the jump. Straight away, Quinn's up to the high ground. He's found old 11. They've got the Hex locked down. They've been able to blow up the Timber. That's the Timber Saw down. Quincy Crew, Leslau. Tornado into the EMP. Leslau. He's going to fall here this time round. He's not able to survive. And now Yawar sweeping in with the Stone Gaze, looking towards Yawar. He's going to get caught in the Sunstrike. Yawar pops the BKB, it's not going to save him. Poyoyo's able to right-click him down. They're getting forced back. MS's has to TP out of this. Seeing the River Quinn. He's jumping out with the Simulate and the Astro Set. They may have been able to quickly dispatch of old 11. VG Gaming, they're ready to take a fight, of course, with this lead that they have, even with the Timber Saw down. Scardy complete on Poyoyo. The Timber Saw kill, it was just not anywhere near to the same impact as that of killing the Medusa as they did last team fight.
No, they don't have the BKB yet on the Death Prophet. This time, PYW does get the vessel off onto her, and then she just gets evaporated in no time. And now it's a Medusa with an Aegis, with the Ayascati finish too. So all that healing that they do have on their draft between the Wyvern, between the Death Prophet, even more reduced. And now the BKB won't be as effective also when Poyoyo is able to hit onto that Death Prophet when Leslau does finish it. Still continues to be a hard game.
Yeah. Quite comfortably here for VG Gaming. 11K, 22 to 15. Quincy Crew's lineup, one that does get heavily punished with each and every bad fight that's taken now at this stage. Quinn. Getting onto PYW. There's no split. See if they can take out through the burst of the finger. They can.
They can.
Bring down PYW. What more can they get? They're looking over towards DY in the river. Quinn on the chase. He's able to close the gap. Sets up with the Yules. They'll be able to find themselves a second grab here. Quincy Crew.
Very nice. All these kills do matter. They need to start getting them. Did Yawara get either of them? No, Yawara not able to get either of them. Unfortunately, he's still in a tough spot. 2, 4, and 8 on this Bloodseeker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They still have this ward that they caught all 11 with earlier. It was spotting out Ori for a moment. Poyoyo is starting to get pinged out though, so they do have their own vision that is going to see Quincy Crew rotating over. Poyoyo. He's walking into them. He's feeling really strong.
The Aegis. No fear of being burst by Quincy Crew, and Quincy Crew know that they don't want to spend much longer on this half of the map for VG Gaming. Quinn backing off. Very close to having the Aghanims done here on the Void Spirit.
More silence. It's going to be really good versus that Brewmaster, versus that Timber. There is a Lotus already done on old 11, but versus the Brew, it's going to be extremely effective until PYW gets his Aeon Disc, which he is very far away from still. About 2k more gold. Or sorry, 12 more gold.
Stepping up. Lotus Orb's down onto him. Immediately old 11 making sure that they're put off from committing any further onto DY, and it's going to work. Quincy Crew, they'll back off. MSS just trying to start clearing out this mid lane of creeps. Poyoyo's pushing in. He's ready to start beating into the towers. This tier 2. See what response Quincy Crew's going to come up with. Yawar still trying his best to farm elsewhere on the map. Get this Mjolnir done, so he's got some sort of offensive potential in the team fights.
Radiant's middle
they don't want to look to defend these towers right now against Medusa with an Aegis. VG Gaming able to take out the tier 2, open up the availability to get this outpost in their favor.
And now they're going to go into the Ancient side too and farm, and these illusions from the Medusa cut the whole bottom wave, continue to farm the jungle too. These are not Manta illusions, that's an illusion rune. Poyoyo, he steals away the Ancients. Yawar has to just run to find some type of farm top. 12k gold lead already though. 12k experience lead too, and as you mentioned, outpost was taken away. So it's going to continue to grow. Quincy, they just need to find these pickoffs, but they have to wait until this Aegis is gone. If they can find Poyoyo isolated, then perhaps they can go for something like that again, but that still is looking difficult.
Dire are scanning.
Setting up around mid, Quincy Crew just making sure they're here to back up Yawar. Does get jumped upon, doing their best to make any sort of area of this map safe for Yawar to continue to farm in.
Radiant's top tower.
He needs so much more though. It's level 16, Medusa level 21 with a full butterfly coming out on the courier any moment now. He is just so far ahead on the Medusa.
He is. He's having such a good game. And I mean, yeah, Medusa is a hero, sort of had different opinions from different players.
Radiant's top tower is
do you feel Medusa is still always going to have a space as this carry, even with some of the changes to talents that were, sort of referred to as one of the reasons why some teams just don't like playing this hero?
I think if you just avoid going for the Aghanims build, and if you just have a good core-to-core matchup, it can still work. Like, he's versus Bloodseeker. Like, if you get ruptured, you just stand there. You don't really care most of the times as Medusa, so... This game, it definitely feels very appropriate. So onto the high ground, Alacrity push.
Look for the jump on R11. He's able to get the Lotus off in time, and that means they'll be able to turn, get the combo onto Quinn. Quinn gonna break out of the cold snap here with the Yules. And he will be away. Jumps back to safety with the Dissimilate.
Scary for a second.
Creeps are coming in. Oh, wait. He's got a back right off, and Poyoyo nearly takes him down there with the damage coming out from this Medusa. Back off with the mana low, but...
Can you imagine if he dies because of like a Lotus Orb play reflecting a Lion Stun? That would be so devastating.
Something to watch out for these quick moves from old 11.
There's that B-fly finished.
I like this, this is what you want to see. If you're down 14k as a team, don't sit on the high ground. You've got to look for these aggressive moves. This is the only way you're going to be able to get yourself really back into it. Look to get out and hit VG Gaming when they don't expect it. Problem is though, VG Gaming, even with the lead they have, they're playing very safe. Full 5 of them in their jungle. If you do find them, you're probably not going to have a good time.
No, and they were trying to make the move because the Aegis was getting reclaimed right at that moment, so they were trying to catch them split up for a second there, but look at top wave. Like, this is a tell right here. They know that Quincy Crew is trying to make something here when those creeps are just pushing that far in. Quincy Crew waiting patiently on the high ground, though. Old 11, he's going to go for the brunt force. Walking right in.
He wants to start things off straight away. They get in with the jump onto the Evoker. They're looking to burst through all they're able to do so. That's already out of the fight. They get the grab Poyoyo straight away looking over towards the Medusa. Poyoyo puts the stone gates in the Manta Star. Quincy Crew, they'll start to kite it out to the side. Leslau keeping the lockdown onto QCY with the Spirit Siphon. Another 3-man silence laid down by Leslau. Poyoyo starting to run low on the mana. He's got the damage to force Yuar back. Yuar pots the BKB. He still can't quite get in there. Leslau gets blown up. Quinn jumps in over PYW, but the primal split's still good to go. As the split's out, Quinn's held in place by the boulder. Triple kill for Poyoyo. As they just cannot kill or really threaten this Medusa. Even with the Aegis gone, they do their best to fight around it. They get a fantastic jump onto the Invoker, blowing up Ori. But it's not enough to turn it into anything more than just that. As Poyoyo, he seems very far beyond the point where he really is this hero that they just cannot fight anywhere close to.
No, they threw everything onto him too. After they kill the Invoker, they throw the Rupture, they try to collapse onto him with the Death Prophet, but then we see the Scotty just hits onto Death Prophet, she can't run in, and a great dispel. PYW with the Primal Split dispels the defensive Yules off of Quinn. He lands right in front of Dusa and just gets completely wrecked. And we see DY, they totally lock it. We've mentioned it a lot of times. He's just healing, restoring this Medusa's mana every single one of these fights. There's a good approach from Quincy Crew, but we're just seeing that the power of this Medusa is just too farmed.
Absolutely, and going for this Satanic next. I mean, if they couldn't kill him before that, kill him with a Satanic
oh,
would be so hard. We see on the replay again. I mean, they do, they get the mana down low. They are starting to burn through Poyoyo's sustain, but it's just not enough. And by the time it gets close, they're just starting to lose heroes left, right, and center. Yuar, he can't get in there, even with the BKB, getting anywhere close to the Skadi Dusa. He knows if he's running in, he's not going to be getting back out.
Old Eleven's he's just a absolute tank. He just runs right through everybody. They ignored him at the start, but either way, the damage is done when he's able to just sit on top of the Wyvern, sit on top of the Bloodseeker, and have no cares. Just zoning him away from that Dusa. Ichi, 18,000 gold lead. It's continuing to get harder and harder.
Over.
So what Quinn goes for next. A bit of money saved up. QCY head over. They're able to get the push together once spawning Roshan. It's going to be up in a minute, so we could see Vici Gaming continue to play a bit reserved, wait for that next Rosh.
I don't know what big items are the ticker, right? So what's the next big thing for Quincy? It feels like it's like the MKB for Yuar, but he's ways away from that. And even then, I don't know if that's going to solve the damage issues. Quincy still hasn't queued up which item he's going for, but I just don't know which one it is. Like, sure, he can go for his own, like, Kaya-san, something like that to give him a little more damage, but is that going to change the outcome of the fights? It doesn't feel like it right now.
Oh, unfortunate there for Leslau. Losing the courier with the plate mail on. Quincy Crew smoked up, looking to see if they can find a catch, maybe get a hero out on their own. As we see Vici Game, they've just done a very good job of not being bored like this. And LOA tries to jump in, tries to set him on a Poyoyo. Quinn's coming in with a fallout. They're committing everything onto the Medusa. They couldn't with the BKB and the Exorcism. They're staying on top of Poyoyo. Yuar charging as well with the BKB. Can they bring down this Medusa? They can't. Poyoyo just clean it up. 3 down, the curse will come out. It's not going to turn the tides of this fight though, as MSS still falls. Quinn trying to run away. They've got the control from the Primal Split. They send him up in the air, ready to bring him down. He's got one more jump, but he can't even get it off. The cold snap immediately there from Ori. As it's a team wipe, they just clean up completely straight into Roshan. This Rosh will be theirs, as it's looking like there really is very little left in the tank from Vici, from Quincy Crew to throw at Vici Gaming. Once again, they just can't kill this Medusa. Poyoyo, he's just too damn farmed.
He is just too big, absolutely. If they were not as far behind as they are right now, they could have probably killed it. We saw multiple times now where they got Poyoyo so low, so close to taking him out, but gets healed up, gets reset, and they just get fully wiped there.
Middle barracks
They're just lacking the damage. Look how low they got her, but is it really that low when she's just able to turn around and just get, I mean, these holy lockets too, just keeps getting healed, these sticks. And now 20 seconds till the Void Spirit's back up and they're just losing their whole base.
I mean, yeah, pretty much 30k lead here. Second wave being taken, Quincy Crew, they'll probably pull it together for one last fight here. On the main stage, let's see what they can do. LOA, he's headed in, he's been caught by the Hex, that's the Lion gone. Leslau just getting shredded here by the damage output Poyoyo, and there it is. GG is called. Vici Gaming take game 3 with that. The series is theirs 2-1 against Quincy Crew, as they'll be the ones moving on here. And